Not really, but I'll do it.
Swapsies. Walk in front. Don't make me ask again.
Good job.
towards me to the clocks, everyone. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
As we're saying back at the steps, my friends, justice is fought for, justice is won, justice is never given. Our fight for liberation, for justice is your fight, and we fight together with our Indigenous brothers and sisters here on this land. And as I said about Tuesday, when Mark Regev will have to be held account at the Magistrates Court in Melbourne, 8:30, yeah, absolutely. 8:30 on Tuesday morning, comrades, brothers, sisters, siblings, 8:30 Tuesday morning. We need to see all of you at Federation Park. Flagstaff Gardens, 8:30 Tuesday for 9:30. We're going into court. That's being led by Uncle Robbie. Uncle Robbie, who's been a stalwart of the movement marching for Palestine since 1973 with Gary Foley and so many others. He knows that that fight is his fight, is our fight. At the end of this rally, we're going to join him at Camp Sovereignty at King's Domain up the road here. It's not King's Domain, it's Robbie's Domain. Big round of applause for Uncle Robbie. Come on down, Uncle Robbie.
Thanks, Nessa. It's great to see everyone here today. Got to keep this struggle going, folks. Don't ever give it up. Ever. We can't afford to. Genocide is such a heinous crime, you can't allow it to continue. You must stop it. You can't be leaving these things for our kids to sort out. It's not going to happen. We've got to do it. It's a watershed moment in terms of humanity on this planet right now. I just want to say, lest we forget all the original people who died at the hands of colonialism here in an unprovoked war of aggression. Genocide's been going on since the day the British arrived in this country. And if you have a look at the international law against genocide, 1948, the Convention for the Prevention and the Punishment for the Crime of Genocide, you'll see that colonial Australia is guilty of everything in that act. And there's no doubt about it. So what's going on? Australia's also complicit in what's going on in Palestine today. They're sending military hardware and economic support. They also have individuals like Mark Radjo, who claims to be an Australian citizen, is part of the war cabinet of the Israeli government. At the time it was the 7th of October last year, or the year before, he was a part of advocating for the genocide of Palestinian people. Now, according to the law in Australia, genocide's supposed to be a crime. Since Australia signed on to the International Criminal Court, which prevents it, it's a unique situation. Israeli, United States, some other countries don't care about the International Court or these crimes. But it's important to clean up genocide in your own backyard, Australia. We allow it. We encourage people like Israel to do the things that they're doing, and they're able to get away with it. Now, if we want to do something about stopping genocide, we should stop it here in our own backyard. You'd be surprised to know how many gun-running operations are coming out of Melbourne itself. Now, we've got British arms export. There's many of them anyway. I don't know the names of them all, but there's quite a few where I live down in Richmond and Hawthorne. They're military suppliers of guns and weapons and parts for things like F-31 machines. So it's important to stop them here. It's your taxpayers' money. We've got to stop it. If we've done that globally, cleaned up our own backyards, well, that would stop genocide globally. Keep that in mind, Australia, because you're a crime scene yourself. It's hypocrisy. Totally. You're complicit. You've got to step up. You've got to stop genocide wherever it exists. On Tuesday this week, we have a case against Mark Radjo, an advisor to the Netanyahu, and he was a part of their war cabinet. We have a live case. It's in progress right now. Come along, support us on the 10th. And there's another thing we want you to do, is check out crimecenteraustralia.com and go to our page with it says you can write a letter to the Director of Public Prosecutions and demand that they indict this guy. That will be a win, and it'll start to weaken their resolve here. Australia's had a deep and enduring relationship with Israel for as long as I can remember. You'll notice these guys are involved in the media. I'm talking about Zionists. In the media, in the legal system, and many other things in this country. They have a strong grip here as well. And this is a 254-year-old illegal occupation where genocidal oppression's been going on since the beginning. Our population has been reduced to less than 1% of the population in Victoria. Just a minute percentage of 1%. Yeah, not bad, Oz. Australia's a crime scene. It's a criminal nation. We want a crime scene investigation. This is all based on legal fiction. Particularly these churches around the place. They're all disgusting as far as I'm concerned. All of them. How can you be practicing religion here in this land? It's stolen land and it's knee-deep in blood of Aboriginal people. Don't forget that. Alright? Don't ever forget that. I will never forget our relationship with Palestine. In fact, keep saying it. The first rally I ever went to was in solidarity with Palestine. My first rally. And I never forgot that. Yep. Same situation. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up this struggle, folks. Now we're going to stop genocide. These fellas is not going to stop it. You have to make them stop. And do whatever you can to stop genocide wherever it's occurring. And racism and all those other issues that we know are important to maintain humanity. Anyway, Australia's in a unique situation here. We've got a unique opportunity to actually do something in the courts, and by looking at the population here and the continuing resilience of this struggle, you know, we can win. We can win this, and we will. We have a vigil starting at 8:30 at the Flagstaff Gardens in the lead up to our case on December 10th, Human Rights Day. I think it's important that it's on that day to begin with. Now, it's been 76 years since they ratified the Genocide Convention in Australia, but they never legislated for it. You know, it's very intentional what they do here. It's just one hell of a crime scene. So, if you can come along 8:30 at Flagstaff Gardens, be great.
Thank you, Uncle Robbie. Now, I would like to let you all know that we will be marching to Camp Serenity to finish the end of the protest. We are standing in solidarity with our Indigenous brothers and sisters. Because if you've come to our protests, you know that we have a shared combined struggle with every Indigenous people that have been oppressed and persecuted, especially in this land, their land, that was never ceded. Interestingly enough, supposedly the colonisers called this land Terra Nullius, a land without people, and they called Palestine a land without people. Well, we're proof to show that we exist, that you've tried to criminalise our identity, our flags, our very stories, but they are alive and well. And those stories are being shared on this stage every single week. And they're shared by you every single day. Witnessing and living through a genocide is traumatizing for anyone who has a moral conscience. Anyone who believes that there should be equality. Anyone who thinks that the metric for humanity should be more than murder, should be more than bombing innocent children, should be more than using chemical weaponry on civilians, should be more than starving a whole civilian population to death. We, every single one of us, we hold that moral metric. And we demand, we do not ask, we demand that our government uphold the same values that we do, for humanity and justice for all, for equality for all. We were able to achieve it in apartheid South Africa. And as Ross said earlier in the protest, it started with one of us, everyday people, who took a stand. And we learned there are ways in which we can defeat such barbarity. We can fight against apartheid. We can boycott. We can divest, and we can sanction. We can hit them at the heart, at their pocket. And we can hold them accountable. Right now, students in Gaza have not been able to study. Their universities, their schools are decimated. And our students here are graduating from their universities. And they have also protested, held encampments, and held their universities to account for their complicity and alliances with the Israeli state and its institutions. Now, these students also have an action next Sunday after the protest at 6 p.m. Please join them in their graduation vigil against genocide with Palestine on the 15th of December at 6 p.m. at the Royal Exhibition Building. That will be after the next Sunday's protest. Now, some of you have asked, if this is the last protest, what do you think? No! It is not the last protest. When there is injustice and oppression, we stand up. What do? We stand up. And we have proven in Melbourne, and our global intifada has proven, that we are resilient. And we stand on the right side of history, and we stand up every week, every day, every second. Because Palestine is for every single one of us. It is fighting for a future for our children and our children's children. And so what do we do? Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Fight back! Stand up! Stand up! Fight back! Stand up! Fight back! Thank you, everyone! Free, free Palestine!
Big round of applause for May, a powerhouse. Everyone for May. Now, my friends, we're just about to finish. If you want to join us in Camp Sovereignty, go to my right. If you want to head back to the State Library, go left. And if you want to go home and remind all your friends to come out next week. But my friends, it behooves us to remember that this fight continues, but also to remember those that have passed. On Friday, we had the 1-year anniversary of one of our dearest academics, poets, authors and thinkers and activists, Rifat al-Harir, who was a brilliant Palestinian. He was assassinated. He received text messages saying, "We're going to come and get you." He kept moving to try and keep his family safe, but the Zionists got him in the end, assassinated him with his daughter and one of his children. Shame, absolutely. Over the last 14 months, Israel has killed medics, hospital directors, academics, destroyed every school, displaced 100% of the population. This is absolutely a genocide. But he wrote a poem, my friends, a poem that says, "If I must die." Look this up, buy the book. The book is being released next week as a commemoration of the anniversary of his death. It's being released by his family. It's the least we can do to support him and his family. If I must die, if I must die, you must live. To tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some string. Make it white with a long tail so that a child somewhere in Gaza, when looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad, who left in a blaze, and bid no farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope, let it be a tale. Thank you, brothers, sisters, siblings, from the river to the sea. If you want to join me at Camp Sovereignty, march that way. If you want to go back to the State Library, go that way. If you're going home, remember, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Thank you, everybody.